Rock's Xebec also fought even Whitebeard. So this chapter 1164 started right where the last chapter ended, which is the body of Sebek being dome-reversed by Imu. When the 5 companions of Sebek who attacked Imsama saw this, they were all shocked. Amo even said that Sebek was stubborn. Sebek's only reply to him was that Emo should not underestimate humans. He even added that he knows who the former king of the world was. That was David D. Jones. When Emo heard the name David Jones, he suddenly got triggered. He said that it's nonsense what Sebek is claiming, that David Jones was never the king of the world. Then why are you afraid of his name? Said Sebek to Emu. He said Emu had long been afraid that someday someone would inherit the will of David Jones and fulfill the promise that Emu broke. And here, Sebek directly asked Emu whom he was more afraid of, Davy Jones or Joy Boy. Emu's reply was that he wasn't afraid of those two, since they would never resurface again, because they've long been dead. Even if they came back, he wouldn't care, because now he already had perfect soldiers to use in battle, and those were the Giants of Elbaf. When Sebek heard about Elbaf, he was the one who got triggered. He angrily told Emu not to touch Elbaf, because Harold only wanted peace. But Emu kept taunting Sebek, saying that the king of Elbaf was easy to manipulate, and here, Sebek's body finally turned into a demon. In the next panel, Emu gave another command to Sebek to end the dream of the Devi clan, and here he slammed Sebek's body down. When Sebek's body fell to the ground, we saw that his 3 members, Kaido, Big Mom, and Whitebeard, were all worried. According to Sebek, his consciousness was already fading, and yes, Sebek stood up again, carrying Emu's command. Big Mom immediately noticed that Sebek's body had grown larger. Sebek then began to follow Emu's order. He quickly jumped and attacked Kaido. He threw him hard into a nearby mountain. Big Mom, who was about to counterattack, was quickly slammed down by Sebek. Sebek then attacked Whitebeard with his sword, but unlike Big Mom and Kaido, Whitebeard managed to block Sebek's attack. You could clearly see the overwhelming haki in their exchange of blows. The power of their haki was so strong that one of the large mountains in God Valley collapsed. That's why everyone started running, including Eris and Blackbeard, who were shown as well. On the other hand, it was shown that the Marines were already evacuating the Celestial Dragons, who were still in God Valley. Rayleigh and Shaki were also shown. Rayleigh was worried about Roger's condition, but some of them continued to flee, carrying the treasures they had looted. Aside from the Roger pirates, Monkey D. Dragon was shown as well, still sad because of losing the young Shanks. Kuma and Ivankov's group was also shown arguing because Ivankov wanted Kuma to rest due to the number of people he had already saved. But Kuma insisted on saving more people, and here he saw someone he might be able to rescue. In the next panel, Captain John and Gunsui were shown, both severely wounded. Shiki, on the other hand, was rejoicing over the treasures he had stolen from the two. And then the scene returned to Sebek. This time, his targets were Eris and Blackbeard. Eris cried when she saw that her husband had already lost himself. She commended Sebek's sacrifice just to save them. So, with no choice left, Eris tried to jump off a cliff to survive, but it seemed she wouldn't make it because, at the shore, a marine ship was shown aiming a cannon at her. Behind her was Sebek already approaching, and just as Sebek was about to attack Eris, Kuma suddenly arrived. Yes, guys, Kuma managed to fly Eris away before Sebek reached them. Just like Eris, he also launched himself away to avoid Sebek's attack. Along with this was the cannon fire from the Marines. It was shown that the cliff where Eris would have jumped was almost completely obliterated. The events happened so fast that Emu probably didn't notice. That's why he gave Sebek a new command, thinking that Eris was already dead. And the command was for Sebek to kill everyone in God Valley. Sebek immediately started. Pirate or Marine, he slaughtered them all mercilessly. Going back to Roger and Garp, both of them were contacted by their comrades. Garp was called by his unit, and since he knew how dangerous their situation was, he immediately ordered his unit to leave the island. Roger, on the other hand, just asked his crew if everyone was already on board the Oro Jackson, and here the two finally faced Sebek. Roger and Garp were both confused as to why Sebek had turned into a demon. They had no idea that their true enemy was not the one standing in front of them. In the next panel, Garp and Roger suddenly heard a voice. It was Sebek's voice using the voice of all things. For a refresher, only a few characters have been confirmed to possess this ability. We first saw it used by Zunisha to speak with Luffy and Momonosuke. Anyway, through Sebek's voice, Roger and Garp heard him begging them to kill him. Sebek was shown crying as he spoke to Roger and Garp. When Roger and Garp heard Sebek's plea, their facial expressions couldn't be read. They seemed confused, yet pitying. And in the last panel of this chapter, Sebek began attacking Roger and Garp, and that's where chapter 1164 ends. So that's the full chapter 1164, and hopefully you enjoyed it. The analysis for this chapter, as usual, will be uploaded next, so stay tuned to our channel because the events of this chapter were truly interesting. If you have thoughts or ideas about this chapter, don't hesitate to comment them down below so we can discuss them. So that's all. Peace.